In looking to make a home in the stars, we often overlook what must exist in place before we can even start. There exists a gap between the ideas and dreams of today to very real habitats in the future. Thus, I present Iter ad Astra, Latin for the journey to the stars. This project hopes to make this very journey possible. A major obstacle in the creation of a space settlement has been the lack of an economic motivation, stemming from the massive investment costs of building a settlement. Another roadblock is constantly changing politics, which makes a long term project like a space settlement unviable. On the brighter side, we see ever improving technology that will make space settlement more achievable. Additionally, the rise of private space industry has and will continue to dramatically decrease rocket launch costs. Therefore, there has been no better time in human history to initiate humankind's greatest journey. Iter ad Astra's goals are to 1. Create a profitable path to space settlement. 2. Make space accessible to more than a select few. 3. Foster the progress of humankind to the stars. And 4. Benefit the whole of humanity. The inability to fulfill the first goal has been the main roadblock of space settlement. In order to accomplish this goal, the Iter ad Astra will establish an international authority to effectively lead space settlement, find the least expensive space launch systems, build the infrastructure to allow many space settlements to be constructed, and establish industries for the settlements to pay back the expenses involved. Currently, governments and private companies are the two main groups leading the exploration of space. Both are not fit for the task alone. Governments have proven themselves unable to commit to long term projects. Consider the tale of the NASA Constellation program, initiated in 2004. $9 billion were spent on the project that was ultimately cancelled in the following administration. Private companies would arbitrarily cancel a settlement project. However, space settlement is far too risky and expensive to invest in for them. A solution has to be found, one that's politically independent, can set long term goals, and encourage private companies to participate to further bolster the project. The solution is to create an international organization, the International Authority for the Development of Space. Member countries will exercise control through funding and the representatives in the Council, but they can never directly interfere with the activities of the authority. The structure of the administration is shown in greater detail here. The long-term goals created by the Space Authority will encourage private investment in space by assuring that the support from the authority is consistent. The authority will further encourage private enterprise by letting it take over competitive sectors. Gradually, the authority will become monetarily self-sufficient by charging fees for services in space. In this way, we make the first steps in the path to profitable space settlement. Now that the administration has been structured, it is necessary to examine how material will be launched from Earth to establish the infrastructure in space for building space settlements. In comparing rockets, I examined factors such as cost, lift capability, and the reusability of the vehicle. All of the rockets I examined are quite capable, but the BFR, New Glenn, and the Vulcan currently appear to be the best options. In the near future, skyhooks and rotavators provide an alternative launch system. Though not as capable as a related space elevator, they are also easier to build and would cut the fuel required for space access dramatically. In the later stages of the Iter ad Astra, launch loops will be built. Such a system can launch massive amounts of cargo at extremely low cost with high safety, and will make space access viable to more than just a select few. By building space-based infrastructure, a few launches provide the capability to build multiple settlements, dramatically reducing the expense. The very same infrastructure can be established for other purposes to generate profit. The first piece of infrastructure is a mining base in a permanently shadowed crater in the polar regions of the moon. The polar base satisfies the life support needs of space settlements and generates rocket fuel. The creation of the mining base justifies a propellant depot located at the Earth-Moon Lagrange 1 point. The purpose of the base is to cut transportation costs in space. Eventually, the depot expanded services to construction and repair. After that comes the establishment of bases on the land crater and Oceanus Procellarum. These sites provide the material for fertilizer, nuclear fuel, and for various manufacturing purposes like parts for the space settlement. These moon bases must become very large in order to produce the parts for a space settlement. Simply launching all the parts of the base from Earth will be too expensive. The solution? A self-expanding factory. Such factories will be limited only by the resources available to them. While moon bases are expected to be the main source of material, asteroids have a complementary role. C-type asteroids will provide carbon and an alternative source of water, while S and M types allow convenient access to pure metal. Now that the infrastructure exists for building a space settlement, construction can begin. The settlement will be placed at the Earth-Moon Lagrange 1 point, just like the propellant depot. The location is ideal for its accessibility, allowing the settlement to act as a transportation hub. Even though the existing infrastructure may be highly profitable, that alone does not justify the creation of a space settlement. The following industries will be the final step in making space settlement profitable, which pushes forward the development of space. Manufacturing and servicing satellites in space has a significant edge over manufacturing them on Earth. On Earth, high launch costs and no way to perform satellite maintenance leads to problems that increase cost. With affordable spacecraft comes exclusive applications. In addition, the manufacturing capabilities of the settlement will further progress space development by building new space settlements and infrastructure such as space solar power. A microgravity environment is the only place where certain processes can take place, allowing for new goods to be manufactured, which would greatly benefit the people of Earth. An example is high-clarity Z-band that can only be made in space, which provides far more efficient fiber optic transmission. This will revolutionize the telecommunications industry and generate profit with space settlement. Space tourism will generate revenue by using station services, as tourists are likely to pass through the settlement on their way to the moon. Eventually, the station will host a particle beam propulsion station. Such propulsion eliminates the need for on-board reaction mass on a vessel. This catalyzes interplanetary travel and settlement of the other planets begins. Gradually, a vast network of beam stations develop, trading across the solar system. With upgrades, the beam stations will shoot forth the first interstellar colony ships, the culmination of the Iter ad Astra. Humanity has the power to make the stars their own. Yet without a catalyst, humanity will remain trapped, only staring at the night sky, not among it. Designs for a space settlement do not matter if the path to build it does not exist. The journey and what comes first must be considered, not just the end. By beginning with an international authority today, it will not be too early to begin the expedition to the stars. The road will be a struggle, no doubt with failures that we will not have anticipated. Even with an international authority, it will certainly be expensive. Yet the road opens up the way to the entire rest of the universe. It is an investment for the whole of humanity to push humankind forward, and that is perhaps the investment of the most important kind. Thank you.